All right, so here we are working on a 1999 K2500. I watched a ton of videos on YouTube trying to figure out how I should correct the doors on my truck, and there were some very good ideas, but I would argue that the way I had to end up fixing it is the real solution. So today is December 19th, 2024, and that will give you perspective on pricing years down the road. I'll just go over what I paid for the stuff. So original problem with the vehicle, this handle here, you could barely pull it hard enough. This lever had to, where this part right here was basically touching this plastic before this door would open from the inside. So what we did was we just would roll the window down, put your hand outside, and the exterior handle always works. So this was a Dorman part when I bought the vehicle. So when it broke, I said, okay, it had to be a Dorman part, probably a pile of junk. I'll get a GM one. Got a GM one, same problem. Unrelated, I did replace these outside ones with GM handles because I think they were cracked or something down here. Unrelated, but that part was out of the equation as well. So I'm on the internet. There's some guy saying shorten this rod right here so that this doesn't have to travel as far for your door to open, so it will open your door before this hits the plastic. Some guys say, or maybe I even thought, well, I'll cut the plastic and I'll allow that to go farther. Okay, well, not really good. I mean, it might fix it for a day, a week, a month, whatever, but I don't feel it's going to fix it long term. So a lot of guys are like, oh, it's terrible design. Yeah, I think it is. I think it is poor design. These parts are incredibly weak. But if we go back to 1999, these did work for many tens of thousands of miles before they started failing. So I would argue you can get it working again, and I'll show you what I did. So here is, I believe this is the passenger side, and yes, I'm well aware that it's missing a bushing here and missing a bushing here. I cut those out and saved the bushings for future repairs. But here's the two failures that you're gonna see when you're working on these. Failure number one occurs right here. There's a little bit of a radial crack. This is just some sort of garbage cast or something like that. And failure number two would be, this is off a different, the other side, but failure two, let's see, would be at this pivot point right here. It cracks. There's not a lot of metal there. So yes, I agree, poor design, but we can get it going. So those are the old interior handles. So I put on the GM handle. You have to do the same amount of throw. It's basically touching this plastic before this door is going to open. And I don't even know how long it took. The GM handle broke. So, okay, I can safely say the GM handle's not the solution. Fine, on to the next thing. I noticed this door had a lot of sag to it. So in other words, the hinge pins and bushings were wore, or I should really say the bushings were wore. So when I would lift this up, it would go clunk, clunk. And I would hear it banging on the post when the door was closed. As I was on a bumpy road, it would be banging here. So I thought, okay, time to replace the hinges and the bushings, so the hinge pins and the bushings. So boom, ordered some. I found them online. Allegedly, the manufacturer of the GM pins and bushings, you cannot buy them OEM anymore. And there's somebody online who claims they purchased them from the person that was making them for GM, and they sell them to the public and they sell them to GM in any event. That's where I got those from. So, all right, replace the bushings, replace the pins. Now the door has zero sag. In fact, the body lines are really nice for an old truck. That's about as good as you're gonna get. Nice body line, no sag, and the door does not drop when you open it. All right, so put the pins in, great. The door no longer sags, but it still doesn't open properly with the interior handle. So I thought to myself, what am I missing? Okay, this is the only other thing in the equation that I'm missing. This thing right here is called door latch actuator. So I went on Amazon. I got the part numbers here. I bought a door latch actuator for each side. So here is the individual part numbers for the door latch actuators. One's left, one's right. I don't know which one is which. And I actually bought it in a kit. So 2 of them came in a kit. I believe it was like $130 or $140 for both of them. Amazon, great. And then while we're doing part numbers, here is the doorman numbers for both of the interior door handles. Again, I don't know which is which. Easy to figure out though. All right, so that's that. So now, put the new actuator in, which I feel this actuator, this is the old actuator, has a lot of use on it. The vehicle's got like 200 thou on it, but I bought it at 140,000, and I was having the problem way back then. So I feel like these contact points wear out over time, and you just have accumulating air. So maybe, I don't even know if I'm on the right one. Let's see here. Yeah, that's the lock. Yep, so it's this one. So, all right, so this is what comes up and ultimately unlocks or opens the door from the interior. So I'm going to say you have a slight amount of wear here, a slight amount of wear here. Who knows where else? There's a little bit of air occurring, and I think they all add up, and it just causes this lever to need to be pulled so stinking far that it just cracks this metal. So I'm going to jump in here now, and I'm going to show you problem solved. I'm going to show you where this thing, and I have the trim ring on the interior handle so that you can see that. All right, can you bring the camera in or no? All right, so let's see, I got it. Fine. So I'm gonna put a little bit of outward pressure on the door, and you can see, I'm gonna close it again. So you can see where it actually disengages and lets it come away from the post on the body. So, and I think that, I'm hoping it's gonna be a long-term solution, and I believe it will be, because basically everything is brand new. So if you have an old truck that is rust-free, or you just want the doors to open properly, I would say just replace that. Don't bend your rod. Don't cut your trim. Put this in, and you're gonna be happy with the result.